Do you have a podcast that you're passionate about? Are you looking for a professional studio to help bring your vision to life? Then look no further than Crux Media Group Studios. Located at 903 West Evans Street in Florence, South Carolina, Crux Media Group Studios is a full-service podcast studio that offers recording, editing, consultation, live streaming video recording, and more. We have state-of-the-art equipment and a team of experienced professionals who can help you create a podcast that is professional, polished, and engaging. Whether you're a first-time podcaster or a seasoned pro, Crux Media Group Studios can help you take your podcast to the next level. Contact us today at 843-407-1673 to learn more about our services and to schedule a consultation.
Welcome back to another episode of Philosome Talk Show. I am now today the co-host. I have my man John Williams here today. He's going to switch it up a little bit today. But I first off want to thank everybody who has been tuning in to the prior episodes. I think I have three episodes, and each one of them has hit the 100 mark on views. And that's dope to me that people are actually tuning into the episodes. And if anybody is interested in or actually has something to talk about, hit me in the DMs or the email and we'll get some things popping. But make sure you like, share, and subscribe so we can grow the platform of Philosome Talk Show so we can, get these intellectual conversations abroad. All right. So this is Philosome Talk Show episode number 4, I want to say. And today we have John Williams back here again today. And he gonna tell you how we gonna operate this thing today, because this is his show today.
Okay,
right?
okay. So welcome back to Philosome Talks. We're gonna talk to Antwain a little bit. So we're gonna have a little conversation today, and we're just gonna talk about some things dealing with Antwain, to kind of see who he is. So he's been having folks come on his show, and he's been having people. He's been sitting down with folks trying to see who they are and what it is that they do. But today we're gonna have a conversation and kind of see who he is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you ready for today?
Yeah, man. I've been ready for this, man. I've been ready for a long time, because a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people know what I do, but they don't know who I am.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And conversations that we have. Allowed us to get to know one another a little bit better over the past 2.5, maybe 3 years. So this is going to be an opportunity that I have to kind of tell bits and pieces of my story and get people who don't know me to know me a little bit better.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, man. So I guess the first thing is, to me, you always on the go. Like you're moving. You're always busy. You got your hands in a lot of stuff, and you just kind of on the go. What are some things that you have going on right now? Some things that you're working on right now, or in the past, like in the recent past, that you've been working on, that you've been putting your time and your energy and your effort into?
Man, the first thing that I've been putting my time and effort into is myself, dog. Because I realized that, like, without me and me putting that time into me and knowing myself, it don't matter what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it might not even be me. It might not even be for me. It might be something that I'm just hopping on to because it's the trend or something like that. So, during the wintertime, I completely, eliminate everything, social media, any type of really entertainment, just reading, working on myself, working out, like doing those things to help better myself. Keystone habits is what it's called. And working on these small habits that actually help me develop other habits without any extra effort.
Okay. So is that what that is, keystone habits?
It's a keystone habit. So a keystone habit is when you create a habit or you start developing a habit or working on a habit that automatically changes other habit without no extra effort. So working out automatically gonna make you have more energy. It's gonna make you more positive. It's gonna make you think about what you eat a little bit more. It changes other things Meditation is another keystone habit. Food journaling is another keystone habit. So these key habits that changes other things for you. So working on myself, Al the Acorn is a big part of what I've been working on and still working on, which is a children's book that I wrote about an acorn that believed in himself to become an oak tree. And it's a lot more that's coming with that.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever comes to me from me learning more about me is what I'm usually working on.
Yeah.
Whatever comes to me.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, man, I've known you since high school. That's when we met. We met when you were in the 9th grade. I was in the 10th grade. And one thing that I didn't know about you going through high school is how much you read. So I know that you read a lot of books, and actually. You're the one who got me to reading books, so I never read books a day in my life. I mean, like outside of Cat in the Hat books, I've read some books here and there. I've read some things out of books, but I've never sat down and like got into a book and read it to its entirety. And so, what's that like with you?
What, reading?
Yeah, reading. Like what kind of books do you like to read?
Oh, okay. I like personal development books. Like most of the books I read. It is personal development books. Just because I feel like if you change yourself, then things around you will change.
Right.
Like that's the only way you can't. You don't make change externally.
Right.
You make change internally, and once you learn to develop yourself, you will probably be amazed at how you see things. Outside, like if I could be an expert at something, it'll probably be at like how the mind works for real.
Right.
So stuff like that. What book? What? I ain't know. Like I think you said it before, but I didn't know. Like us talking was what made you get into reading though.
Yeah.
So what made you? What have you been getting out of it, and what's your favorite read?
So just a conversation, like the conversation between me and you. After you read a book or while you're reading a book. You would kind of tell me about what you're reading, and I just felt like you were getting so much, and I felt like the books that you were reading, and when you were reading, it kind of motivated you a little bit, had you kind of moving, getting some momentum going. Yeah. And so I started reading some books. The first book I read was an autobiography of Malcolm X, and that was a really good book, and it taught me a lot, but I owe it all to you to just get going. And actually, I started that last year. At the beginning of last year, and I actually read 5 books last year, and the first time in my life. So not reading any books,
that's
and then going to 5 books.
Dang, that's what's up, bro. Most people don't read one book in a year, dog.
Right.
It's and the thing I got to give credit to Coach Wilson to getting me to read.
Okay. Coach Bob Wilson.
Coach Bob Wilson.
Okay.
Like in high school, he was always so informative. Like he knew so much. He knew something about everything. It seemed like.
Right.
And I wondered. Like, yo, how you know so much? And he just told me to read, just start reading. If I don't know a word, don't just read past it. Kind of like look up that word and learn that word. So I can't say that I do that every time, but I do be reading the book. So I got to give the credit to him. And once I started, I didn't start reading. I read my first whole book all the way through when I went to jail. Like that was the first time I read a book all the way through.
Okay. And when was this?
This was my junior. I want to say my junior year in college.
Okay.
I just had so much time. Like I was reading, but I wasn't reading the books all the way through. I just like read half of it or something, but then I read a whole book all the way through because I ain't had nothing but time.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I read a book all the way through, and since then, I never stopped reading.
Yeah. Okay. And so you say you did that in jail. Like how long were you in there approximately?
28, 30. I want to say it was 28 to 30 days, but you only had to do like half the time if it's a misdemeanor.
Oh, okay.
So I only had to do. It was like 2 months that I had, and I had to do half of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, in Virginia, because it was in Virginia. So I only had to do half of that time, but it was a long 28 days because I knew I only had 28, 30 days. So every day felt like an eternity.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I had a different like perception of what time was while I was in there, because I try to sleep it away.
Yeah.
I was trying to sleep it away, and I'll wake up. I think I slept the whole day away. I was asleep for an hour and a half or something like that. So yeah, but yeah, that reading, man, that I just know that if you can read, if you can learn and you can read, you can learn to do anything, because everything in the book, yo, for real.
That's right. So that's right. Yeah. So I do a good bit of reading now myself because of that. So I started reading the Bible about 5 years ago, but I think we sat down a few times and got in the Bible over the last year and some change, and the way that you look at things and the way that you study helped me when I'm reading the Bible. So now that I read the Bible, I kind of don't stop on, I don't skip past words. I kind of look into them to see exactly what it means and just try to get more understanding. And I owe a lot of that to you as well, from our time spent together doing those things. So I appreciate you.
Man, I gotta appreciate you for getting me to even start reading the Bible, bro.
Yeah.
Because when you got me to start reading the Bible, we were studying it, line by line, like what you think this mean, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what you think this line means? So that was fun to me, and I think that like you said, if I do that with the Bible, I'll probably become more of what I'm supposed to become. But it's just, you know, if I sit down and read it, I gotta study it. Right. And sometimes that don't make you not read it, because you know you're gonna have to sit down and study it.
Right.
But that I appreciate you for opening that up to me, because that was something that people kind of push you away from when you're not intelligent enough to do your own reading and understanding. Right. You know, like growing up and stuff like that, like the way people act one way and they use the Bible to whatever, you know, they use it against you sometimes.
Right.
But when I started reading and I started like seeing other things, you know, and it's hard for people to talk about too. So
no, that's right.
But that reading, man, I would suggest everybody start reading something that you're interested in, because it'll it unlocks your mind.
Oh yeah.
You know. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think, you know, because of that, you know, it unlocks your mind, and then we're able to have like better conversations, because I believe information is important. Right. Like just take in more information. So when we're having a conversation, if you had a conversation about a topic yesterday and then you don't go back and kind of learn more about the topic the next day, and you try to have that same conversation, it's going to be the same conversation, because you didn't put anything else into your mind. Yeah. So, and I believe in reading, like you said, just getting more information out of it.
And it's a little bit easier for me to read a little bit more than people, because I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
You know, like I think television and social media, like scrolling and stuff like that, like it take away a lot of the time that you can be growing. Right. You know, so it's kind of like almost dumbing you down a little bit, depending on what you're watching.
That's right.
You know? So
you feel like you're getting a little dumber, ain't it?
Yeah. I watch some stuff and I'll be like, bro, I feel like not smart at all after watching that. But because it's not no substance behind some of that stuff. Right. So I do YouTube and I do Instagram and stuff like that every now and then. YouTube especially, because I listen to books too. Like I don't just open the book and read it. Like if I'm working out, if I'm walking or jogging or something like that, I'll be listening to it too. Right. You know, so that's information, you know, and I enjoy learning and hearing different perspectives on different things and stuff like that. So lectures and stuff. Yeah. YouTube, I can listen to a lecture that was 1930 or something like that, you know, that got mad game in it, you know, that could be used today. So I don't know. It's just it's different when the media not controlling you. Right. And it kind of makes you a dangerous person, bro. Like if you ain't controlled by the media, because that's the whole point of media, is to get you to think in a certain way. That's right. You know, so I don't let it control me. I'm entertained by what I want to be entertained by, and that's usually something that I'm learning about. That's right. That's right. And I know you met with Dominique Henry, and one of the things you guys talked about was like the pressure, like peer pressure, like the pressure that's put on you to make you feel a certain kind of way, and that kind of ties into what you were talking about just now. You know, with just the media. The media can kind of sway your beliefs and sway your thoughts and have you thinking the way
it wants you to think.
Right, bro.
And I use the word it, like it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
It's scary. It's scary to be enlightened when I see it like this. Like I see like the media create robots. Like, I feel like AI exists before these robots. I feel like AI exists when the media start controlling the minds of people and people start moving in the way in which the media is trying to get it to move. It is trying to get it to move.
Yeah.
So think about like when we was in high school, we had like the big clothes and stuff, the snap music.
Yep.
And the hustler music, and now it's like the drill music and, it's a whole like tighter clothes, more fitted clothes and more guns and killing each other and stuff like that. It's so influential.
That's right.
But when you enlighten, like when you're not controlled by that and when you can see things that people are blind to because your light is on, like it make you kind of like, it make you a little bit more, you could become strange to people.
Yeah.
Like you could be considered a weirdo real quick.
That's
real easy, but then I'll be looking like, y'all all doing the same and acting the same. That's weird to me. That's strange to me. But to each his own. Like I don't judge nobody, but I do wish that, we had more mind control for ourselves instead of being controlled, our minds being controlled for real. That's freedom.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I kind of remember like you being in high school, like you just always seemed like you had it together, like you had your own mind. It seemed like you were in your own world at times.
Yeah.
Especially I remember being at practice, and I don't know if I told you this, but it was almost like you had it was us out there practicing, and you had like a Bluetooth in your Bluetooth thing. And I know they do have that now.
Yeah.
But it seemed like you had a Bluetooth in your helmet, and it was like you were in your own huddle, and we broke the huddle, and then you joined and you ran the play, and that's what it kind of seemed like at times, like you were in your own space with things. You remember any of that?
Yeah, I think it's because I've always been like observing stuff. Like I grew up real quiet. Right, and like them quiet kids, man, like them kids be once they start talking, they be knowing a lot.
That's right.
But I grew up kind of like a quiet kid, unless like I was close to you. So out there I was kind of like observing, I could say now, like just human behavior. You know, like what's causing this person to be this way or act this way, or trying to predict what this person gonna do or how they gonna react to what they're encountering that they don't even see.
Yeah.
Like a movie that's in front of me. And I feel like we all live in our own world. We just share the earth. Everybody living in their own world. Yeah. Everybody got something different that they dealing with. Like me and you, and we in our own worlds right now. Like you see this entire room completely different than I can see it right now.
That's right.
We sitting right beside each other. It's a whole different world. Like if something behind me, a bug or something, it's not going to exist in my world. It's going to exist in yours until you draw my attention to it.
That's right.
So I always, it's funny that you say that because my son say the same thing. Like he's like, man, daddy like somebody in a movie or something. You know what I mean? He be meditating. He be riding his bike and stuff. It's in his own world. But I mean, I feel like you got to create that for yourself, though.
No, you do, and it's a good thing that you're doing that because to me it kind of changes time in a sense, like your time. Everybody has time, but it kind of changes like your time, and time is important. Like the way we see time is important. Like what would you say the definition of time?
Bro, I was just about to ask you. I was waiting for you to pause so I could ask you that question. But I feel like time is a calculator, in my opinion. I feel like the biggest calculator that we have is called a calendar. Like the only thing that really truly exists is right now. And you use what time is to calculate what it is or how long you're going to do something or to calculate your existence.
Right.
Or to measure your existence. So I feel like time is a measurement to, like, we could say we're going to be here for an hour or hour and a half, and we use time to measure that out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But while we in it, that hour and a half can go by so fast.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing something that you don't want to do, that time that really don't exist is just a measurement can go by so slow if you're doing something that you don't want to do.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like time is a unit of measurement.
Right.
And a collective of nows for real. Like it's
Yeah.
just a collection of nows right now. So what's time to you though?
Yeah, time is essentially the same thing. I can go with that definition that you said.
You gonna steal my definition?
I can go with that definition. I see it as also like when I think of time, I just think of ticks, and I think of it never changing. So I think when I think of time, I think of something that just doesn't change. It just is what it is, and it keeps moving, and it just never. It ticks. You know, if you think about it, like the sun never comes up at a different time. It just ticks. Like the time, it's always on time. The sun is never late. You know, when it's time to get dark in that certain time period of the year, it's never late. It gets. It's gonna be, the timing is always gonna be there. And so I look at time too as one of the most valuable things in this world. Time is one of the most valuable things in this world. And I'm just happy that we get to share time together.
Yeah, no, for real though. And another thing about time, bro, time, you stated it, but it need to be emphasized. Time keep moving.
Yep.
Like it's keep ticking. Like no matter if, it don't matter if you just had a kid, it don't matter if somebody just died, it don't matter if you just got a new job, it don't matter what happened. Time gonna keep moving. Like it don't got no respect, yo.
That's right.
You know, time don't respect nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like if you don't take advantage of time, if you don't manage time, people manage their money before they manage their time, which I always feel like it's kind of backwards. Right. You know, because they say time is more important than money, then why don't you manage it?
That's right.
You know, like if you manage your time, I think Magic Johnson or somebody said it, like it take the same amount of time to make $1,000 an hour than it do $12 an hour. It's the same time. It's just how valuable that time is.
It's to you. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like how value you make your time. You know what I mean? And so if people really got the concept of managing your time, you'll be super like the stuff that you will get done. Yeah, you know, it'll be out of this world, bro.
That's right. Yeah, I tell you one thing happened with me. You know, once I got sick and I got lung disease, I told you I got put on the slab. So and I call it the slab. It's like a cold table. You know, they put the oxygen mask on you and they put this.
They put you on a cold table.
Yeah,
they give you no bed.
No. When you getting ready to get worked on, the surgery part of it, that's when they put me on a table, like
like when people dead on it?
Yeah, kind of like that. That's what it kind of remind me of. And they get to working on you. So they had me in the bed and they transitioned me to the table. And they put the mask on to put the anesthesia to put you to sleep. Yeah. And when I woke back up and went through everything that I went through, you know, like just thinking about all of it, because I had a lot of stuff going on at one time period. And it made me think a lot, and it really changed what time was for me. So it changed the value of time. So now, you know how people say, I don't got time for that. Yeah. That was me afterwards. Yeah. Like, man, I don't have time for that. Because I realized I could have been gone, and I could be gone here any moment. Yeah. So I'm not wasting my time with anything. Yeah. And so that's why I say, to me, it's one of the most valuable things. It is. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Okay. What do you feel like the most valuable thing is, whatever it is? What is the most valuable thing in the world, period? What would you say it is?
The most valuable thing in this world is in the world.
I know it's a tough one.
It's so many things that's valuable. It's two things that I can think about that I can consider super valuable, and it's probably gonna be super regular, but oxygen.
Okay.
You know, like I feel like breath is one of the most valuable things, because without breath, not even our heart gonna beat. You know, like if every, and it's something that we don't have to think about. You know what I'm saying? I feel like some of the things that we don't think about be the most important.
Right.
So, because when it's taken away from you, that's all you want.
That's right.
You know, so I feel like being able to, the most important thing is to be able to breathe. And the next most important thing is to be able to love and be loved on by those that you care for.
Okay,
You know, 'cause
okay.
I feel like that's what keeps like, for me, man, that keep me going. But at the same time, that joint can hurt too though, because like you can love somebody and that, like, they don't love you like the same. You know what I mean? Like
that hurts.
Yeah, like that you think, and you can think that they do, you know, but then they don't. You know, so like it's a catch-22 with that. But when it's right, like when that love is mutual and y'all can experience that with each other, whether it's a friendship or you know, a relationship, like whatever type of relationship it is, being able to experience that with that bruh.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
That's right.
What about you though? What you think?
Mine was gonna be similar, but it's life. So it's what you're saying, but it's you're saying the definition of what I'm saying. So it's life for me. Life is the most valuable thing, just to have, like, because without it you got nothing.
For real though.
Yeah, you can't do anything. So you need life, and so I value, to me, is life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade nothing for life, because I need to be here. I want to be here so that I can continue to love and build relationships and keep relationships going, but also re-energize the world, you know, with the stuff that we always talk about, you know, the stuff that we always do. Yeah. So that's my thing.
Yeah, my mom, she was a CNA for a long time. She used to work at the hospital, and like she said one time, she told me she had to put people in bags a lot, body bags, like after they died or whatever. So she used to tell me, like, some of the conversations that she used to have, like, you got so many different type of people, and the thing that she heard the most when she asked people, like, if they what one thing that they would change, and it would be like it would be to spend more time with their family. You know what I'm saying? Like, even no matter how much bread they had or like whatever it is they had going on, that was the number one thing. It's just time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that always stuck out with me. But how do you feel like you make the most out of life though?
It's kind of that, you know, taking advantage of your opportunities, and not letting too much time get away without doing anything that doesn't have a lot of purpose to it. So like you talked about earlier, with you know, being on YouTube or watching TV or TV shows and stuff like that, something that really doesn't have certain things that you watch, they really don't have a lot into them. And so now you're just wasting time. And so you could be using that time to, like, better yourself. You could be using that time to better the relationships with people. So I feel like that, like, you need to be getting after it. And I watch you a lot. So like I said, you're always busy. You're always on the go. You're always doing stuff. And I feel like you're making good with your time. Like you're increasing the value of your time. So now I feel like if you were to go work for someone, they wouldn't want to pay you.
It'd be so hard.
Yeah.
It'd be hard for me to work, because sometimes I look back when I was like an employee.
Yeah.
And just thinking, like, you can never really get the value of your time for real.
Right.
Like, I don't think you can ever get that, because life exists in that time.
Yeah.
So, like, no matter what the digit is, you know, it ain't. I mean, you can have the value of the work that you're giving, but time alone is worth more than the value that you can give for real, because it's time. That's why AI about to take so many jobs and stuff, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I think people starting to realize that, and unfortunately, it's gonna be a lot of jobs lost because of it. But I've been thinking about that lately too. Like, I be busy. People always say that I be busy, but I really be busy with what I want to be busy with. You know, like I do the things that I want to do, and I make myself busy with those things. It's not much that I do that I don't want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With my time, and regardless of how much money or how little money, or I know that it's something that I died doing what it is that I want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my kids gonna be straight if something was to happen to me. My family gonna be good. And though like those, that's the stuff that's important to me.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, time with them and doing what I desire to do with my time. Because when I quit my last job, bro, I woke up one morning and I was like,
where were you working at?
Sherwin-Williams.
Sherwin-Williams, okay.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna quit today.
Really?
Yeah.
Just like that?
Just like that. But it was because I was already going through this spiritual journey, you know what I'm saying, and that self-actualization and being super aware, and which it was a very scary period in my life.
Okay.
And then, but I realized the concept of time and me. I knew that I could probably do something on my own that would give me the same thing that the company was giving me, and not have to be away from the people that I love.
Oh man.
You know, like imagine like you going someplace for 8-9 hours and you don't enjoy what you're doing, and anything can happen with your family. It could be like detachment issues or something that I was having at that time, but I had to wake up. I woke up and I was like, man, I'm gonna quit today. Because I knew the value that I was giving and I wasn't getting it in return. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew the value that I had within me but I would just have to actually do something with it. Right. You know, and you know, they was like, you know, you put your 2 weeks in? And I was like, well, that would defeat the purpose of me saying I was gonna quit today, because that's still time that I gotta spend here. You know what I mean? But
did you do it?
Did I quit?
No. Did you quit or did you put 2 weeks in? Which one did you do?
Oh no. That was that day. I finished out the day. Okay. You know, and the manager, because I was an assistant manager, so the manager over me, he knew. He was like, man, I knew this was coming. You know what I mean? Like I just see so much more in you. Shout out to Bobby Jones, man, because he was a real good guy, yo. And he understood me, right? You know, so when I did that day, he was like, man, can you at least work the rest of the day? And I was like, yeah, I got you. But that concept of time, back to your point, man, that concept of time, bro, is everything, bro. Yeah. You know.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad you did that, man, because you know we're talking here, and a lot of people are gonna see this. And they, you know, a lot of people are going through that same thing right now. They're going through that same thing.
Don't quit. Yeah, not a plan.
Yeah. So what advice would you give them now? So did that work out for you?
It worked out for me. Okay. But I had stuff lined up though. But I would say though, invest. Like if you got a job or something like that, if you got some source of income, take a percentage of that and put into something that's gonna generate more income for you. Right. Like, and that's just me learning more so now. Like I invested back then, but I was just trying to make money out there. That's the only reason that I was putting money into stuff, because I knew that it's still gonna take money to make money. Right. But now with my mindset, now it's like, man, no matter how small the percentage is that you putting up to try to invest, it compounds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like pennies make dollars. So that's right. You know, if you just can put up 100 pennies, you know, every day, put a penny up a day, you're gonna have $1. Right. You know, the year you're gonna have $3.65. That's right. Because of them pennies. You know what I mean? But if you got income, no matter how big or how small, put a small percentage of it up. So when the opportunity comes for you to be able to put that into something to make some bread, you got it. That's right. You know, that I feel like that's the difference between being lucky and being unlucky to some people. Like the opportunity will come and they can't take the opportunity because they weren't prepared for it. But if you got that opportunity and you've been doing what you need to do, you've been preparing for whatever opportunity comes, you just so got it, then you up. That's right. You know, so I would suggest people to, if you're working right now, put a percentage of your bread up. And I got this book from The Richest Man in Babylon and what's his name? Linwood Edwards. Linwood Edwards, he recommended this book to me probably a couple years ago. The Richest Man in Babylon. I would suggest if you trying to some sort of financial guidance, read that book. It's a short book. It's easy to read, and it got mad gems as far as how to make your money work for you.
Yeah, but I tell you be on it now. You definitely be on it.
That's a great. But I'm telling you, bro. Shout out to Linwood Airways for putting me onto that book.
Oh yeah, no, that's good stuff, man. And so I'm glad you shared that with people because a lot of people out here struggling with that. So that's a good thing, man. I'm glad you shared it. The next thing is, we met. So we met 2003. I want to get my dates right. So kind of so we met, out there playing football, kind of how it went before you came. It was tight. So Coach Page was the head coach at Wilson High School during that time, and things were a little tight, with him. And I think it was sports in general. It was the times in general where, things seem to be a little tougher than they are now. And I know every generation will probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
So parents, grandparents should probably say the same thing to us. But before you came out to Wilson, there were a lot of rules. There were a lot of things in place. He was really strict. He was discipline oriented. There was a thing where it's like no earrings, no hair, like no long hair, like braids or dreadlocks. The next year came along, and I don't know what made him change, but we got this player the next year, and he called him the future, and his name was Antwain. And you were playing running back. You had number 40.
Yeah, Gail say his number.
That's right. And you had braids in your hair. I remember that. So you had braids, and during that time, not a lot of people were able to play with braids in the head or long hair. Period. So some things kind of changed, but it was very tight. I remember being in the 9th grade and just dreading going to practice because it was very tough. And I know I was young too, so a lot of the stuff that happened. But how was football for you at Wilson? Like, when you first came in, was it fun? Was it, what were you doing? How was it? Tell us about it.
See, football always been fun. It's just been fun to me. Like it was never a job. Because what was fun to me was working out. Like I had always enjoyed working out, and I think when you enjoy working out, stuff like sports becomes just gonna come easy especially if you're athletic.
Right.
So the working out part, it was just fun. I don't really remember. I didn't know the rules. Like you couldn't have hair or none of that stuff before I came. But I'm glad that changed when I got there because my head shaped funny.
Yeah. So would you have played if he said no?
I mean, it's probably easy for me to say nah, I wouldn't play now.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but with the way that I thought, because stuff be having to always had to have a reason behind it.
Right.
And if I couldn't see what my hair was, what difference that was gonna make, I probably would have looked for someplace else to play. Like I probably would try to just go to another school or something. So I'm glad that that did change because I ain't had to cut my hair. But it was fun, but I didn't like it because I wanted to play as a freshman. Like I wanted to play JV so I could be playing because I'm out here for fun.
And that was out of the question.
And now he was like, nah, you ain't playing no JV. You know what I mean? But I wanted to because that's what all my friends was at. Right. Coming from Williams, everybody was playing over there. Yeah. And I'm sitting on the sideline at practice watching everybody else play.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can't say that it was as fun as it was in the past. But then I got my opportunity to play.
That's right. Okay, so let's talk about that. Yeah. So when did you get your opportunity to play? Do you remember your first carry? Because I remember it.
Yeah, okay. I want to say it was Camden when I got my first carry. Wait, am I right or am I wrong?
You're wrong.
What?
Yeah. So you were in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And you were second string back. And playing against South Florence.
South Florence, yeah. Because Dre had got Andre Thomas.
Yeah.
He had got ejected at the end of the game.
That was King Street. But go ahead.
Oh, well, he got ejected in King Street, so I had to play
your
South
first
Florence
start
at South Florence. With South Florence?
No. So South Florence was the first game of the season, but you got your first carry at the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
And you came in, and I remember your carry. It went for like 40-something yards. I mean, the first time you touched it, and you got up, man. You were so excited, And I don't remember you having that kind of excitement like anytime after that. Like it's almost like it was expected after that. But during like when you got that first carry and I'm telling you went for like 40 yards.
Yeah. I guess that's like when you get in a fight and you get punched in the face and you see that they ain't got no power behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm about to eat.
Yeah.
So that's probably what that was. Cause I don't really remember that play. But now that you say that, I had some older guys, some old heads.
Yeah.
They mentioned that same thing. Like when they first saw me run the ball.
Yeah.
And they were like, Mr. Brooks was like, hey, he's just a freshman
Yeah.
or something like that. But what the one that I remember vividly was Camden game.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that was my first start maybe.
Yes.
And like the older players, they was like trying to spook me all week. Like, boy, them boys big, boy. Them boys hit hard. They was doing all of that, saying all of that. And in my head, I'm like, I practice with y'all. You know what I mean? So if y'all saying that they better than y'all, then we all got a problem.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I do remember that game, and I think we won that game too.
Yeah, we won that game by 1 point.
Well,
20-21 down in Camden.
Well, you got a good memory, boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that I do remember that, but it was always, and that's something that since we talking about football, like that's something that people, that's what everybody know me from.
Yeah,
for real. It's just like playing football, and I think most people probably think it was more serious to me than it actually was.
Right.
I really was just having fun with my friends.
Oh yeah.
I didn't take it serious at all. I mean, I respected the coaches and I respected the players, but as far as like taking this football thing super serious, like knowing the players, watching film, scouting reports and stuff like that, like I didn't want to do that homework. I had enough homework in school, so I just wanted to play after school. That's why I played basketball. I wasn't the best on the basketball court. Yeah. I knew my role, and I came out there and I did it, having fun with my friends.
That's it.
So, but that's what most people know me from. And sometimes I just be wanting that junk to like go away.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, know me for what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Like I don't really want that to be my legacy for real.
No, I understand that. Yeah, and I think just sometimes people they know you how they know you. I mean, I guess they remember you where they remember you at.
They hear they heard that somebody has said like they heard my name. They weren't never coming to the games, but they could hear my name over the thing,
the loudspeaker,
loudspeaker, like in the neighborhood surrounding. And I always, like, me being a thinker, I'm like, because people always say, man, your name ring bells. They tell me that, and I think about it like why my name ring bells, and it made me think like, my name being called over the loudspeaker in the city and it could be heard in neighboring neighborhoods, that's a vibration. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So by people catching that vibration, even when they wasn't around and hearing it so many times, it rings a bell now when they hear it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. That don't be kind of strange sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a more introverted type of person, so it kind of be, I be appreciating the love, but it do be kind of like uncomfortable for me sometimes. Yeah, not now. It could be, but it's uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah, and I know kind of time went by since then, but I like to talk about. So you come in the next year, your sophomore season, and you get the your first start, like as far as going into a season, you're the featured back, you're the starting back, and you switched to number 20. You broke your hand that year. Right before the season started, you broke your hand. You got this cast on, and now you're out there playing at the beginning of the year. And I think that catapulted you for your career. You remember that time?
I remember we went like 2-9 that year.
We do. Oh man,
boy, we got
don't bring it up.
Smacked all year, all season.
Yeah.
I remember that. We was young though. We had most of the squad was young.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's the most fun I ever had, by the way.
On that season?
That season.
Really?
And the reason why is because it was all the games were close. So nobody likes losing. But I said they weren't fun, I guess, then. But just thinking about, I like to compete.
Yeah.
And so the fact that the games were always on the line and it was like, you got to give, you got to give, you got to give. That part was fun. Nobody wants to lose though.
Yeah.
But that part was fun.
Yeah.
And then there were times where the year before, the year after, we were beating teams by 20 and 30 points.
Yeah.
That's I don't want to play no more. That's fine. All right, we're done.
Yeah. I don't really remember much about that season though.
No.
I don't remember much about that. I really don't remember much about none of the seasons for real. I don't know why though. Like I don't really remember. I think my problem be I be so present. You know what I'm saying? And even with the things that people see that I do, it'd be like right now, and then I'm on to the next thing type of thing. Like I'm gonna do it and then I'm gonna move on type of thing. So even in sports, I'm gonna play. We're going to win or we're going to lose, and then I'm going to move on to the next thing. Like, I don't really dwell on it.
Right.
As long, but I don't really know why. Like, when people talk about it, it can jog my memory.
Yeah.
But I ain't never really sat and really thought about a lot of it. Unless we was talking or something like that.
Right. Now, I know
what you remember?
I remember, man, I'm telling you, I got memory like an elephant.
Yeah.
I think Dominique said the other day, that's how I am. I got a memory that's like that. But I'll say this, I think for your career, you were you had over 5,000 yards for your career. Just about every game that you played, we had the greatest chance to win. By the time my senior year came and then your senior year came, we actually went. So my senior year, we played the first game. You were starting the first game. You played the first game. We go down to Camden the second game. You get hurt. We lose that game. You're out for 2 more games. We lose those 2 games. Then you came back. We played against West Florence, and you came back. And we went 7 games straight when you came back. And I think that's the impact. That's the type of player you were. That's the impact that you had on our team. Like when you came back, it established our running game back again. And I think we had some other running backs. Some may be a little younger. Some may not have had much playing time and probably not as skilled as you were. I definitely think so. They weren't as skilled as you were. But together as a team, we did a lot of stuff. But we're talking about you. So your impact on the team was great. Now, after I graduated, I came out to a few games your senior year, and I got a chance to watch you guys play. And, man, you were running. And I think your whole career went like this. They ran you like a government mule. I'm gonna say it that way. So you got ran. You got you had your fair share of carries. And so let's talk about that a little bit. So you were a star athlete. You were a star football player. I mean, you were at the top in the state, like no doubt. To me, no doubt. And I think to most people who witnessed you, and I'm gonna use that word because it was greatness that we saw. We saw greatness in you. Just hold your hands up. Hold your hand up. Hold your hand up. Now put your hand out there. Now look how big your hand is compared to mine. Now I'm 6'3", 300-something pounds, and your hand's bigger than mine. You see that?
Yeah.
Everybody see that?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're a running back.
Mm-hmm. I'm an athlete, man.
You're an athlete. I mean, one of the best I've seen. I'm telling you, one of the best athletes I've seen play with my eyes. I used to love blocking for you because I got a chance to watch you run afterwards. So I couldn't wait till you got past me. Yeah. And that defensive lineman, they let go. And I get to see you just run the ball and do what you do. After high school, so how did it end? Like, so after high school, what happened? Like, so you the one of the best backs in the state. Mm-hmm. You made it to the All-Star game. Mm-hmm. You were All-State 2 or 3 years in a row. All-State.
I think.
Running back. Yeah, you were All-State. Yeah. 3A Player of the Year. You had a lot going for yourself. How did that end? Like, so where did you end up at?
Well, I ended up at Newberry College.
Okay.
Now, Newberry College, I ain't know nothing about Newberry before I signed to them.
That's here in South Carolina.
Yeah, it's in Newberry, South Carolina.
Okay.
I never heard of them before. When I signed, that joint was like I was crying, bro. You know what I mean? Like my mom was there, and I was like so confused. And how did they even find me? How did I even end up in this position? I think I was almost to the point of not going to school. For real. So I ain't had no choice but to sign there, because I needed to play someplace. I think camp was probably about to start in like 2 weeks or something.
Come on
when
now.
I signed. So it was crazy, bro. I had never heard of them. The school that I wanted to go to was UNC,
North Carolina
Tar Heels.
Okay.
And I wanted to go to it was UNC and UGA.
Okay.
I used to. Those were the two schools I wanted to go to.
Were they interested in you?
Yeah, UNC. Nah, I ain't never got nothing from UGA. I think they running backs was back then. They running backs was on a whole nother level. But UNC was definitely interested. But that year, they whole coaching staff got fired.
Okay.
And my recruiter ended up going to Clemson, and it was just crazy. But what got me, and I mentioned this on the episode with Dominique, I ain't have no offers.
Twan, I'm listening to you. I don't like when people lie to me. So go ahead now.
Yo, this is what, because this has been like something that I thought about frequently before. Is like everybody. So to answer your question, what happened, I ended up going to Newberry, and then I transferred from Newberry and I went to Virginia State and finished off my college career there. Went to Hampton University, did my pro day at Hampton University, and got top performer at Hampton. You know what I'm saying? And that, which is completely crazy. Went to one of the regional combines with Baltimore, and popped my quad out of my 40.
The Ravens.
Okay. And popped my quad out my 40. And after that, I was like, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
Because I had another pro day lined up at Coastal, and I couldn't go. And Coastal ain't had no running back coming out that year. So, and I was up in Virginia. So it was because of the turf in the Under Armour Center was much more bouncy than the turf that I was training on for my pro days and stuff. Right. So when I had on the waffle cleats, and I came out of my 40, and as soon as I took my first explosive step, my jump popped. Yeah. And I could feel my whole leg warming up, but I'm like, I'm here now. Like, I ain't stopping. Like, whatever it is and the whole time I could feel my leg warming. Like, blood was going through my leg. But that ended me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That ended my football career, and then I convinced myself that it wasn't meant for me to make it. It was meant for me to help others be able to learn the stuff that I learned. Right. And then I got into personal training and, all that stuff. Yeah. But out of school, man, like signing to Newberry was one of the it was a surprise for me.
Right.
And then, nowadays I hear people, they always say, how great I was at sports, at football and, stuff like that, which I was just, like I said, I was just playing. I never really cared about stats. I never really cared about none of that stuff. I couldn't understand why they say I'm so great, and when it came to me going to where I wanted to go, or even having interest, or even having offers from these big schools, I went and I never got to experience what that was like to get a call from a D1 school, for real. Like, it's hard for me to see greatness, in regards to that, when nothing greatness didn't come. I don't know. It just didn't prove that. I didn't prove to myself the way that it panned out. Didn't prove to me that I was great at it. Right.
So you're thinking basically, because it didn't go the way that I thought it would go, it should go. If I'm so great of an athlete, great of a player, then maybe I wasn't.
Yeah, I couldn't have been that great.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't have been that great if I don't know. I mean,
it's crazy that you thinking that though, because everybody knows, who were around you. They knew who you were. We all were able to get like letters and calls. I remember my senior year, I got calls from Virginia Tech. So I had Virginia Tech. I had the coach come down to the school for me and basically say, hey, we want you, come up to our 1-day camp. And I went up there and I balled out. And so and he even called me during the season. And so that's why I just can't picture what you're saying. And quite frankly, I don't know what happened. I'm baffled by your situation because I was waiting on a signing day, for you. I was waiting to see when it was gonna come and where you were gonna go. Yeah. And you got the size, you got the skill, you got the talent, you had the statistics, you had the yards. You were the first end zone player to go 3 years in a row, right, as an end zone all zone player, and it just speaks to your talent. And for the life of me, man, I can't picture that. And I just want to know, like how, like how and why. And
me too.
Tell me.
What I know, man. When I was speaking to a prior player one time before, and he was like, "This was the first time that it hit me. He was like, he said, bro, you had the grades.
National Honor Society.
Yeah. You had the grades, you had the character.
Yes.
You had the stats.
Yes.
You had the things that most people ain't have as an athlete,
right,
at the school. And he said when they saw that I signed in Newberry, he was like, it deflated all the athletes for like 2 years. Like they like kind of lost hope because he was like, if Twine had all of this and he ain't got no trouble, he ain't got no major injuries or nothing, like what I'ma do? You know what I mean? Right. When I don't got the grades and or I don't, I don't have the stats. Right. Or whatever, like it kind of lost hope for them, and I would really like to know what happened.
Yeah.
Like I would really like, and this is my first time saying this publicly for real, because this has been something that people been scared to talk about. Like people ain't really been confronting this situation for real. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like people kind of don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like they scared to talk about it, and this is the opportunity, me saying publicly, like I would like to have a conversation about what happened at that time because I have the speculations of what happened, but I don't. I want to give the opportunity for real for that time period to tell me what happened because it altered the trajectory of my life.
That's right.
I feel like there's no reason why I could put in the work that I put in on the field and off the field.
Right.
And not have the interest from top tier, no interest from top tier schools.
Right.
I got the interest, the letters and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But why I ain't never got a call from nobody, why I ain't never really talked to no coaches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why, like what was it that prevented me from actually being able to feed my family off of my talents?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I still could have, but once you drop the D2, it's especially as a running back, it get a little bit more difficult to get to where you want to go, and then you don't have the resources as far as the facilities, the meal prepping and planning. Right. I broke both of my hands doing hang cleans, and the weight coach told me I was knocking the rest off of my hands.
Yeah, come on.
At the D2 school I was at Virginia State at that time. Like,
yeah.
like can't move my hands. I'm like, yo, coach, nah, I don't think it's no rest, bro. But actually,
Yeah.
I can't open the door to my dorm, bro. I can't. Both of my joints broke. But I would like to have that conversation, bro. Like, how was it that? And I think parents. This is what I wish would have happened, bro. I wish like a male role model, a male in the community or something,
Right.
would have saw what I was doing and would have like helped me, help my mom. You know what I mean? Because my mom ain't had no clue what was going on, bro.
And I think that goes on a lot. Yeah, that definitely goes on a lot. And I see what you're saying too. I think so for me, you know, we love Wilson. You know, that's where we come from. We had some blood, sweat, and tears out there. We poured it all out there. And I think that, you know, anybody who's listening, who knows anything about it, should, you know, sit down and talk with you and give you some kind of answers. I don't care if it's the principal. I don't care if it was an athletic director at the time. I think Coach Page needs to sit down and talk with you and have a conversation. And any one of the coaches that's on the coaching staff, if there's something that they know about it, I think you deserve it. It's really, you know, a lot of athletes kind of go through that, and some athletes go through that, and they may not have had the same ability and talent and size and grades and all that as you. You know, I can speak for myself. I had some talent. I had some size on me, as you can see. I'm a big fella. I had some things going for me. I had some character and some charisma about myself. But I didn't have the same grades that you did. I wasn't a part of the National Honor Society. My GPA was a 2.67 coming out of high school, so it wasn't horrible. But I could do something with it. But there were some things that hindered me from getting into school. But there were a lot more other things that went on during that time that really had me upset and frustrated me.
You want to discuss that? Or
yeah, we can discuss it. So
what happened?
So my senior year, it was a very tough time. You know, you being one of the top players in the state. Like I said, I made South Carolina top 100 my senior year, and coaches were calling me during the year. So one of South Carolina State, like a position coach, he was calling me during the season that year. But it was a lot of stuff not getting back to me. So, and what I mean is I had 3 offers, and Newberry was one of them. St. Paul, wherever the hell that is another one. And then St. Augustine up in North Carolina. That was one. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand it, man. And I was hurt. Like you saying you're hurt, man. I was deeply hurt myself. I remember this like it was yesterday. It was after the football season is over. I had already played in the All-Star game and just kind of chilling out at school, just, blah, 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 blah. I signed my letter of intent with St. Augustine. Mm-hmm. And let me put this disclaimer on this. This is about Coach Page. So Coach Page was a great guy, as far as a football coach. He was a great mentor when it came to like discipline and doing things on the field. I love Coach Page. I really did. But there was a time when I hated him. That's real.
That's a strong word, bro.
That is a strong word. And the only person I ever hated in my life. And I love him. I love him today. But during that time period, I hated him because I felt like he kind of altered the way things were going to go in my life. And like I said, I think he was a great man up into a certain point when things started happening. And really, it wasn't me who found out. Now it wasn't me. So what happened is my mom. I get a call. I'm in school, and so this ain't no lie. I don't have no reason to lie. So anybody who's listening in, I don't care what you think. This is the real deal. It's the truth, and this is for real. So this is what happened. So I'm in class, and I get called out of class to go to the attendance office, and the attendance lady said, "Hey, you need to call your mom." So I call my mom. She doesn't answer. So I'm like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And so she says, "I don't know." So I called my dad. He said, "Call your mom." And I'm like, "Can somebody tell me what's going on here?" So my mom, she called back to the school, And it got to me. I said, "Hey, Ma, what's going on?" And she said that, "Hey, man, I've been calling around to all these other colleges because what my mom was trying to do was like, I can't believe you this is the only offers you have. This ain't cool." And what I told my mom to do was, "Mom, stay out of it. You're gonna mess me up for college." That's what I was saying to my mom. And she called around and she told me she talked to Buddy Pugh, who was the head coach at South Carolina State.
Yeah.
And he told me that he had talked to Coach Page. So he told my mom that he had talked to Coach Page and that I had signed with another school already, and that I wasn't going there. And so at the time I did not sign my letter of intent. So that's what it was. At the time I had not signed with St. Augustine, but I think the push was for me to go to St. Augustine. That's me personally. That's what I think. I think the push was for me to, like, it's like a funnel. Like, I'm gonna give you these options, and then you're gonna pick, and you'll probably pick whichever one. I don't know why. I really don't know why. And me and Coach Page have never had this conversation since all of that happened back then. We just kind of carried on as if nothing ever happened. We just kind of kept, and I coached with him. I coached with him for 2 years afterwards. And like I said, I still love him. And I don't feel no kind of way about him in that regard. But Buddy Pugh said he ain't coming here. She talked to some other coaches at other colleges that said, John Williams, he wanted too much for him, whatever that means. Take it how you want to take it.
You said the coach at South Carolina State said that?
No, I think some other coaches at other schools said that he kind of wanted too much. And that it hurt me because of the level of respect that I had for Coach Page. Now we had some issues between us. What players and coaches don't have issues? You know, you got a young man growing up, young teenager growing up, trying to become a man. We had a few issues, but I never would have thought it would have gotten to that level of like, I was hurt. I was devastated, and that. So a year later, I'm thinking about killing myself because I don't get to be where I should have gone. I felt like there should have been more for me.
Right.
And it really hurt me. Yeah. And so I understand where you're coming from. So you got a lot of questions that probably, somebody sit down and talk and try to develop some answers. Yeah. Just pull it out.
Yeah, man. And I feel like it's important because this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be some people that's gonna watch this, and some people gonna be like, they talking about high school stuff.
Right.
It's gonna be that group of people, and shoot, it's people who deal with trauma from kids as an adult. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't even a legit. Like you said, we put. If you ever played sports for real, you know how important that time in your life was, regardless of what level it on. We could talk about Little League football, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and it could have an impact on your life today, or Little League sports or whatever. And it's gonna be some people that's gonna say, oh, it wasn't like that for me, or I ain't never got to see that side. But everybody's story is different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody gonna have a different experience.
Right.
In during a certain time than other people, because you have different calibers of players. You have different calibers of situations at home or situations in school. Like a GPA could be something that's helped somebody, so it ain't no push for you to go nowhere.
Right.
Like it's so many different variables. And everybody has the right to their opinion, but I would hope that the viewers of this know that you can't discredit somebody's story, bro.
No, that's right.
That's right. Just because of a time period in their life, you can't really discredit it. But I would it's two things I would like. I would like to have a conversation just to see like what happened. And I would also like to see what the records are, bro. Like I would want to see. And it ain't just it's for me, but my 16-year-old son it can encourage him.
Yeah.
Cause he know that he got this in him. I ain't got nothing to show him for real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just what other people say.
Yeah.
But if it's a record of any of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? If it's a record of rushing yards, because Wilson is a prestige school.
Yeah.
And when they say people holding on to stuff, people been holding on to the tradition of Wilson. You have people at the tailgate that graduated in
yeah, in the early years.
Yeah.
The 40s, the 50s. You know, when we were in school, we heard people like back then. Yeah.
Yeah. And they still have those stories that they tell. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm holding records there, this is me. If I'm holding records there, I would want to know what the records is that I'm holding, just because it's important. It's history.
It's history. That's
like
right.
If to be able to say like I hold a record, that's bro. To be able to say you hold any record, regardless of what it is at Wilson, bro, that's big.
Yeah.
You know, just because it's Wilson.
That's right.
You know, it may be different if it was at another school. You know what I'm saying? But Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Like that, I feel like if you're going down the history, and Wilson got more history that is continuing to make,
right?
You know, but when you got a piece of that history, I think it's important for that person to at least be able to have access to it, because it's one of the things that I believe and that I'm interested in now is I want to know, about my descendants, and because the way that I think and the way that I am and the way that I move and my abilities and my skill all comes from some place.
That's right.
It ain't just me. Somebody one of my ancestors was like that.
Yeah.
One of my ancestors had a different way of thinking. They probably created something or invented something or something.
Right.
Just because of the way that I think and the way that I move and stuff like that. So
I totally agree.
Yeah. So that can, if somebody's looking for somebody in their family years from now, and they can find me at the Wilson history book, it might encourage them like, yo, so it's in my blood.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know what I mean? Like if I have, with the way that I think now, if I find somebody that, if it was anybody in my history that think the way that I think right now, that thought the way that I think right now, they did something magnificent in their lifetime.
Yeah.
And I want to know.
Oh yeah.
Because it's only gonna encourage me more to like, yo, I ain't tripping.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
really like that. That's just my great uncle, Antwain Lyde, the second or whatever. He did this, bro. So I know that's in me. He living through me right now.
That's right.
So I feel like that type of stuff, history, is important.
Definitely.
And if I made history, I wanna know. Like I want to see it. I want to be able to share it with my kids. I don't gotta share it with nobody else. I want to share it with my kids though, so they'll really know.
That's right. And I think an important thing to come after that too is people going to want to know, kind of what happened after that. So like, if you're in the history books, they're at Wilson, and your family member goes in to see it, they may want to know later on down the line, like, so what did he end up doing? And so you. The way that you responded to everything that you've gone through in life after that point, after the combine, and tearing your quad muscle and just all the things that you've gone through, spending time in jail. What have you done now? How have you overcome those things? That's what people really want to know. Your family may really want to know.
Yeah, that's real. And I'm going to just continue becoming, bro. Like, I think you made it clearer to me at one point in our conversation about things happening for like ain't no mistakes or something. Right. Like ain't no mistakes that was made, and I really do believe that no mistake was made in my life, because the way that my life is going, and the way that I know to move and learn and like how to navigate through it. I think I don't believe any mistakes was made, and I'm gonna continue to live life the way that I see fit for me and my family, and just keep trying to reach my peak potential. I want to live to my fullest potential. Like that's my goal. Like I want to live to my fullest. And I want everybody to be able to live to their fullest, but it take a lot of discipline, and discipline it's a practice though, bro.
Yeah.
Discipline is hard.
Oh yeah.
Like that joint ain't easy, bro.
That's
like,
right.
It's especially in a world full of distractions.
Yep.
It's so easily to get off track. But that's what I would like to. I want to leave a legacy so they'll be able to say like, man, he lived to his fullest.
Right.
You know, that's why I want my descendants to be, and I want to leave my descendants something.
Oh yeah, you know? and that's good, man. And same for me. You know, just overcoming those obstacles, overcoming that adversity, and I owe a lot of that to my parents. You know, the way they raised me and the way that they took care of me and my siblings, and I owe a lot of it to my friends and other family members and stuff like that. I owe a lot of it to you. But I owe a lot of it also to, being able to play sports, at Wilson High School. You know, there was a lot of discipline instilled in us during that time. And so I have to credit all of the coaches that were out there, really, and all of the players too, for all just like everybody coming together and making things team-like. And then and then also just moving forward in life. So, where are we today? I've been able to overcome a lot of stuff, because of this. So, I am forever thankful for my journey that I believe God put me on, that I believe he put you on. I'm forever thankful for that journey because it taught us a lot, but it's helping the world.
Bro, I got a question for you. That off of what you said, and this is a big question. You said God. Mm-hmm. What is that?
What is that?
What is
who
God?
Is that?
Who is that? Yeah.
All right.
What or who is God?
So God is everything. He's the people call him, Dominique call him the Most High, the Most High. But God is the Creator. In the book of life, which is the Bible, He is the person who, or the one who created the whole world, everything that we have today, everything that's in our existence. But I also believe that God is you, like in you. So God is in you, and the things that he wants from us collectively makes him be present. Mm. So I believe his presence is here, like in this room right here. I believe God's presence is sitting right here. And, reading the scriptures and everything, I can see it. I can see it now just from, understanding the scriptures, but seeing what we're able to put together here. We're taking something that, some situations in life that we talked about that could be seen as a negative and could hinder people. And we're allowed the opportunity to move forward with it. And I think God gave us the opportunity. He gave us the light to be able to see in the dark times. So we got some dark moments that we had in the past, and we got some dark moments that we're going to be up against in the future. And he's the one who gives us everything. So God is everything. He's love. He is everything. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I agree, man, and I do feel like God is within. Mm-hmm. Is everything, like you said, and I feel like that's something that would I feel like that's something that when like growing up and stuff, people kind of like confuse me with too. Right. Like who God is and how you pray and like like all of that stuff. Like it's something that I had to kind of learn. And my mom is a different breed when it comes to like spirituality and stuff like that. Like she in it. She on the whole level that I feel like a lot of people wouldn't really understand. It's a part of the reason why I am the way that I am. Right. But I believe that, God is within. You know how people be like, if you talk to yourself, don't answer.
Man, please.
Like if you talk to yourself, don't answer your questions, but like who else gonna answer it though? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if you and anytime that you believe, then this is what make me kind of realize that the Creator is within. Anything that you really believe that you're able of or capable of, that you can have or that you can do or whatever, you can. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta believe that you can. You gotta know that you can.
That's right.
And then that's God-like to me. You know what I'm saying? That's like once you know that I feel like God, like the Creator lived through us. That's why he gave me these big hands, to be able to move matter around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to create and build. And this microphone, like the creator gave some person that he created the vision to use their hands to put this thing together to amplify our voices.
That's right.
You know, like that's godlike.
Yeah.
You know, Nikola Tesla harnessed energy to create whatever he wanted to create for real.
That's right.
That's godlike. And like, that's what people describe God to be, like, to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like we were created to be able to do anything. So I feel like I think about that question often. And I know everybody is different. And my mama always say, whatever worked for you, gonna work for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But for me, it's just knowing that God is within, you know, them I ams. I am the Messiah, or I am, you know, like I feel like those things have power behind it. And I don't feel like you letting God down or the creator down when you believe that. I feel like you actually doing and being the exact way that the creator made you to be.
That's it. Because he said he made man in his image.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly right, man. And I think he inside you there's a lot more, and a lot more than people think. And I think that's where he wants to get that out of you. So like having faith, that's like, hey man, keep your feet moving. That's what it's all about. You can do a lot more than you know you can do, because I created you. Yeah. You can do it, and you should get to a point where you know it too. And I'm not, not you, but everybody, all of us, we should get to a point where we know it too. That hey, I can do it.
Yeah,
I can make it happen.
That's real talk. Well, man, bro, John, bro, I appreciate the therapy session.
Yeah, man.
You know, like it was super therapeutic for me. Today has been a mentally challenging day. I didn't even think I was gonna really be able to do it for real, to be honest, just because I feel like your mind got to be in a certain place to be able to get in front of a camera, because you're gonna really express what you're feeling a lot of the time. So
that's right.
I do appreciate it. Before we wrap things up, man, you got anything you want to say to the people?
Yeah, I just say stay positive. Stay positive as much as possible, and continue to love yourself first, and then try to love everybody else that you can love on, and keep the hate out your heart. Keep the hate out your heart.
Keep the hate out your heart. Yeah, thank you for tapping in again, the Philosome Talk Show. Make sure again you like, share, subscribe, comment. You know what I'm saying? Share again, talk about it. Let me know what y'all think about the conversation. And if you're interested in having a conversation, because that's what it is. I just want to have intellectual conversations. Tap in with me. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in to Philosome Talk Show, and I'll see y'all on the next time. Peace.